Alright, this is going to be a different kind of video. In fact, I haven't even written a script for this one, just a couple of pointers that I want to talk about. A few days back, I uploaded a picture of my new desk setup on Instagram, along with all the new Logitech MX hardware that I included in my setup. I got a lot of likes and love for the shots because they were beautifully shot, aesthetic shots as we call them. But some of you sent me a DM asking me, Sapta, does this really increase your productivity? Or is it just one of the good-looking things that designers like to have? That led me into thinking. Because the questions kind of translated to, is it really helpful? Or is it just a toy which we like to have and don't necessarily need to have? That's when I started preparing for this video. This is not a desk kind of video. In fact, I haven't even decked up my desk like the way I did on the day of the photo shoot. I want this video to be raw, and that's why even I have written a script so that I can show you around some of the functional aspects, not just about my desk, but about my life. This is what I mean by designing your life. You might have heard me saying it a couple of times. So of course, I'm going to talk about my desk and I'm going to talk about the Logitech mouse, keyboard and the webcam that I have. But I'm also going to show around a few other aspects of my home, the way I have designed them and which actually works for me and makes me more productive. Things which are beyond my desk but involves my work. Let's begin. When we designers talk about problems that we face at work, right? We are often stuck inside our digital tools, which is Figma, auto layout. How do I do that? File number, updated version 9 and so on. I think there are jokes around all of that, but we often miss out something which is more important, which is things beyond the screens, things which are around us and which directly involves a lot about how productive we are. So that's why in this video, I'm going to show around some of those things, the way that I do. And please do not look at some of these things from an aesthetics point of view alone. Of course, aesthetics is an important part of the design that I do, but look at it from the functional side of things because some of these things you can actually connect with. They may be small, but they actually add a lot of value to your life. So now we are walking towards my studio or the place where I work. So yep, this is how we enter through the door, and probably you would have seen the backdrop of this in many of my videos. And this is my actual real setup, as messy as it can get. See, this is not decorated, this is not aesthetically set up or anything, but this is how it is, but this works. Now this charging corner is great because the chargers are already plugged in and always on, and if I want to charge something, all that I need to do is just pull one of those cables and connect and keep it. So no messy cables, it just stays on top of this chest of drawers and my devices are getting charged just like that. So this is how the charging station actually works. So here I am at my desk. This is where I work. So, I'll just enter the password and did I mistype it? I did. Okay, so here is my setup, and this is where I work. And like I have told before many times, anything that I do not use at least once a week doesn't have a space on this desk. This is one golden rule that I use. Of course, the stuff are quite obvious out here. I have two laptops here. This is my personal laptop. That's the one which is connected to the monitor right now, and behind that is the one which Swiggy had given me. I usually keep my personal and my work stuff separate, as a part of my own discipline, and also the tools. There are certain licenses that Swiggy has given me. They lie exclusively on the Swiggy laptop, and there are certain licenses and tools that I have purchased and they stay in my personal laptop. And since the Swiggy one is a work laptop, some of the ports are disabled. That's a part of security. So that's why I as a content creator, as a video creator, I need to plug in a lot of devices like SD cards and all, which I cannot do on my Swiggy laptop. So that's where the personal laptop comes. And the rest of the setup, as you can see out here, is the Logitech MX Master Series. Now this one is a great mouse. I can keep raving about it. And the other one is the Logitech MX mechanical keyboard. And of course, we have the webcam out here. I can just turn on, turn off like this. And there is adequate lighting everywhere. Of course, this is my video light, the softbox that I use. If you don't make videos, you probably don't need that unless you're very particular about being well lit in a video call. And a few other small lights that I have, especially, now it's a day, but during the night, these end up creating a nice environment that I have. You see, now that I use 3 devices, I use the keyboard and the mouse as a common thing between all these three devices, right? The mouse scroll wheel thing is insane. When I'm in Premiere Pro, I can scrub through the footage frame by frame, and in Figma, I can zoom in super precisely. It's an endless scroll that's also incredibly accurate, and it even does horizontal scrolling, which is perfect for those massive timelines. The clicks are also super quiet, which is a small detail, but it makes a huge difference. Honestly, the ergonomics were the game changer. My wrist used to ache after long editing sessions with my old mouse, especially with the flat Apple mouse, and this one just fits my hand perfectly and the relief was immediate. Plus, you can use it on almost any surface. On my desk, the arm of my sofa, even my jeans, no mousepad required. And the battery life is insane. I charged it once and pretty much forget about it for months, and every single button is configurable. And similarly, the mouse also has this button which is 1, 2 and 3. Right now it is connected to device number 1, and if I just press it, it just switches to the second device and so on. And switching is extremely simple because this device kind of connects to all three devices together using Bluetooth, wireless of course, and I need to press these buttons. If you see on the keyboard, there's 1, 2 and 3. It doesn't matter if my Mac, my Windows laptop or my iPad. The keys themselves are incredible. They have a perfect tactile feel that makes typing so satisfying. And the smart backlighting is a game changer for working late at night, automatically adjusting to the light in the room. Plus, the battery life is amazing, just like the mouse. It lasts for up to 10 days on a full charge with backlighting on, and up to 5 months with backlighting turned off. 5 months, can you imagine? That's almost half a year. I've charged it once and I haven't had to think about it since. I've set this function keys to do exactly what I need them to do. For example, F1 is my render shortcut now, F2 starts a screen recording, and F3 opens up my Reels folder. So instead of trying to remember 20 different shortcuts across different apps, I just made my own shortcuts that work everywhere. Honestly, this has saved me so much time and mental energy, I don't even have to think about it anymore. So that way, without any cables or anything, I can seamlessly switch between my devices. So right now, 1 is paired to my personal laptop, 2 is paired to my work laptop, and 3 is paired to my iPad. Now the iPad, like I said, I use it only when I'm taking TopMate calls because I take some of my notes there because it just feels a little more personal than the Macs. So that's when, I switch it. I mostly use it for the keyboard because, it's a touchscreen device. So I just move my fingers around, and the keyboard is where I type. I find it much more comfortable to type with this rather than the touchscreen keyboard that we have out there. All right, let me go ahead and show you one very practical thing that I do on Figma. Okay, take a look at this. This is, one of the screens that I had made for one of the past videos. Let's take one piece of text to show you what I mean out here. So this text has got a certain styles. If you look at the designs, I would have done a lot of trial and error to figure out, what text style, what font size and everything, works for this particular design that I had made. And, I wouldn't want to do the trial and error every single time, right? So one thing that I extensively do, and I'm pretty sure you would do that as a designer as well, that you copy and paste styles. Now the copy and paste style, the way it works is Figma has given us a shortcut, which is nothing but Command Option C for copying style and Command Option V for pasting styles, right? So, I can go ahead and type any text out there. Let me just write my name. Right. So here we have, now this one, if I want to make it to this style, the easiest thing to carry forward this style to this piece of text is to copy and paste styles, right? So you can click on this one and do a Command Option C, and then click on this new piece of text and do a Command Option V, and it immediately makes it exactly in the same style that we had before. Okay. Now this could work for a whole lot of other things you would want to use this, right? So here I can actually configure these buttons. So this mouse, as you see, these two small buttons out here. So I've added smart actions, which is nothing but keystroke option command C is what I have saved for this button, and paste property, which is option command V. So now that I've configured my mouse, all that I need to do is just click on this text and do press the first button, top button, and then click on this text and press the second button, and my style is already copied. So, here's the key. If there are certain actions, there's certain things that you do in your life multiple times, and if you can automate some of those things by whatever means, your life is going to get much better, be it charging your mobile devices or automating one shortcut on Figma or After Effects or any other tool that you use. That is going to have a tremendous overall effect in your productivity and speed at which you do work. Oh yes, another way I use my iPad is for my scheduler, because these are multiple screens, I'm always working on them, and I usually keep my Google Calendar open on this one so that I get to see what do I have. All right, a bit of daddy duties. Deku teki, odeki suku. Break, Saptarshi. Light, with the camera. Take it. All right, it's a holiday, but I've got a call today. Not Swiggy call, but my calendar says that this is a call that I have with my content team. It's going to be a short one, 10 or 15 minutes, where we are just going to discuss some of the scripts that we plan to shoot the following week. So let me get into the call. And when it comes to calls, I prefer taking it video because I think it's much more emotional than, taking just an audio call. So I prefer taking it on my desktop all the time. And this MX Brio, which is this little thing out here, has got tons of controls, as you can see in this modify settings, right? I can set the resolution. I can set the crop factor. I can do a 90 degrees, but then that shows up a lot of my background. I don't want that. 65 is a much more closer crop, but I think 78 is what a sweeter spot is. And I can even click on zoom and, set a perfect zoom level that I want. I just keep it 0. Not just that, I can even change the position of it so that it centers me, or I can get into the auto mode and just let everything happen naturally, right? But I want to do it manual. I can do an image control, which is essentially color, contrast, brightness, vibrance, sharpness, the kind of controls you have inside tools like Lightroom. You have it as a part of your camera, so you can make your footage look like it is it is something else and whatnot. And of course, focus as well. I can set it to autofocus, which I prefer. And all these controls actually enrich the experience of video calls, which I absolutely love. Now, here's one more thing. When I'm in meetings like this, where I'm just brainstorming the people, I often sketch a lot of things out here, which I want to show it to my people. And here, one thing that we could do is we can tilt this webcam up to a certain extent. And the moment I do, it kind of flips to show my desk. So it's kind of does a desk view, using which, whatever I'm scribbling around, the people in the call are able to see that, because that's not when I want them to look at my face, because I'm presenting something. And since it's a physical device, an iPad or something that I'm presenting, I think that's a very handy thing to have in a webcam. Okay, done then. So first 2 are sorted. The third one is where you will get back to me. Got it. See, here's one thing about growing up, okay? As you grow up the ladder and you reach higher levels, people expect you to always act like a matured person, no matter how tough the decision is and all of that. But then at times, situations so happen that you do lose your mind and you feel like, oh man, why is this happening? This frustration, on some person or some decision and so on. And in a remote scenario, that's one of the reasons, since I need to do that, that's one of the reasons why I have a mechanical keyboard. Because, after meetings, at times, say I'm replying to someone and I'm like already furious. And this thing, I can actually go and type. I can do this and put all my frustration on the keyboard so that finally the thing that I have typed is mellowed down, because I'm going to put it over Slack or an email or something. But my frustration is all borne by mechanical keyboard. So that's the reason I prefer mechanical keyboards, unless I'm directly working on the laptop. That also happens once in a while. So I need a sturdy mechanical keyboard, and this particular thing, this MX Mechanical, does feel sturdy. So this thing doesn't just type letters for me, it also absorbs a lot of my emotions so that I appear like that matured leader. All right, let's begin with this section of my home. The reason this is important is because this is my coffee setup, right? Now, this is not just about coffee because I love to have it or something. There's also a desk which is right around here. When we were getting this made, I was very particular that the height of it is this much, because when I'm wearing my slippers that I wear at home, my hands should be perfectly parallel to the ground when I keep it like this, so that in case it is needed, I can keep my laptop and work from here if I want to. Now, why beside a coffee counter is because if I have early morning meetings, by early I mean say 9 or 10 in the morning, I usually take those meetings from this place while I am sipping my coffee. Wait, let me put this camera and then I will show you around. So this is what I mean. Here when I keep my laptop and I just stand normally, my hands kind of go parallel to the ground, which makes it very easy for me to type. Now, tables like this have standard heights, but I took this opportunity to tweak the height of this so that for my height, this works. Sure, my wife's height is lesser than mine and this doesn't work for her for working, but then she doesn't work here because we also have a standing desk. She prefers using that. But I'm more into coffee, so it's more likely that I would probably take a meeting while I'm having my coffee. The space also has this nice light here so that I can stand and work without straining my eyes all that much. Now, if I show you around, you will see that, hey, this is my coffee setup. So everything that I need is kind of here. You know, the coffee machine, a couple of glasses, espresso glasses that I always keep, my pods, and a bin. And you see, I also have a glass of coffee beans out there. Now, when you look at it, this might feel like, hey, this is an aesthetic thing because, you don't use coffee beans. This machine doesn't use coffee beans all that much. But yes, it is aesthetics, but it's also about functionality. Over time, I realized that I do crave for coffee, but I don't need a coffee every time. Especially after lunch, my body feels like having something warm. And my natural tendency is to go have a coffee. I realized that if I fake it by having a glass of warm water and then, smelling this one a bit, I almost feel similar to having a coffee. So that's what I started doing, especially for after my afternoon lunches. So yes, while this does look good, it also serves a function which lets me have lesser coffee. You know what is weird? When your tools just work, you kind of forget they're there. And that's when you get into that zone where you are just thinking about the story you are trying to tell, not about which buttons to press. Let me show you what I mean. This is how things used to be versus how they are now. Previously, device switching took about 30 seconds every time, constantly Googling keyboard shortcuts. My desk is filled with cables and I'm getting interrupted every few minutes. But now I can switch devices with literally one button press. My shortcuts are muscle memory because I have made them. The desk is actually clean for once. And most importantly, it works for what I have. And not just desk, things beyond that, be it that breakfast table where I take my morning calls or my charging station or my desk itself, all of these directly or indirectly affect my productivity. I can work with it for hours without breaking focus. I track myself for the past few weeks. I'm saving like 15 minutes per project just from not dealing with the technical stuff. But more than that, I'm actually enjoying the work more. So that's my full setup and how I've designed my life to make myself more productive and exactly how it changed my daily workflow for the better. If you have been feeling the same frustration with your tech, I really hope this video gave you some answers. And as you know, this isn't just about aesthetics. This is about getting job done in addition to the aesthetics.